hope you're taking care of yourself. I hope you're coping. Oh, so soon? Well, be gentle on yourself. We're all dealing with a tragic loss today.
Help! You have to do something! A man arrived in the bar. You have... None of us do. You'll just have to... I have to... What? Why? All right, fine. Come and find me in my bakery instead. Please be careful.
Hey, you're not thinking about going into the cistern, are you? Contrary little cap at murder, aren't you? Nobody's told you about Hannibal? Ugh, why do I have to do everything round here? So, there was this guy called Hannibal, right? Funny accent. Used to go down into the cisterns looking for junk he could clean up and sell. One day, a few weeks back, he comes out and tells me the cisterns are haunted. Said he could hear spirits wailing. Of course nobody believed him, because who trusts a Carthaginian, right? Anyway, a few days later he goes back in, and hours go by, and he hasn't come back out, yeah? So I go down after him, and it's dark. But in the distance I can just make out his body, sprawled out on the ground. And hunched over him was something that made my blood run cold. No word of a lie. I saw a creature. Like the corpse of a man who'd been flayed. And it was eating Hannibal. What any sane person would have done. I legged it out of there and put a sign at the door to warn the others. Without a weapon? Well, it's your funeral. Please. It hurts. What now? Whatever. Just remember, I'll...
Citizen, we're finally alone. I assume you already know who I am. May I know your name? We have? Wait, if I understand correctly, someone is about to break the Golden Rule, forcing me to create a portal in time to bring you here? I must have entrusted you with figuring out who the culprit is. Only, I assume we failed, and you had to start over. Is that about right? If so, what happened? is now is that you make use of what you've learned and gathered and do better next time. Now, I assume you've sought me out again for a reason. Ask then. Good. Now, was the... You mean Duilius? Releasing him is out of the question, I'm afraid. That man is a liability we simply cannot afford. Perhaps you're not aware he was caught multiple times, sneaking around in places he should not have been. Look, I can see where you're going with this. You think me cruel. I assure you that is not the case. You may not be aware of this, but it was not so long ago, during the Republic, the law of the 12 Tables would have required that he be killed as soon as he was born, owing to his deformities. Here we see to it that he has food, water, and shelter, and most importantly, he is able to continue living. A privilege that would be taken away from all of us were he to be released and commit the crime of trespass. The man has no self-discipline, poor comprehension of what is going on around him, and is an incorrigible rule-breaker. I will not jeopardize the lives of my people so that one man can go free. Now, was there something else? Sextus Sentius Imperiosus is my name, though magistrate is the proper way to address me. Before I wound up here, I was a decurion in the cavalry of Imperial Rome, helping protect civilization from the barbarians. It's a cavalry officer. I had 30 men under my command. This was my uniform. As magistrate, I usually wear a toga, but today I may need to survive long enough to create the portal for you, so it seemed prudent. My men and I were at the Emporium in Rome as honor guard for a visiting dignitary arriving upriver by barge. Now the port is usually bustling, but just as our guests arrived, waves of people began running toward the river from streets and alleyways in every direction. They were trying to escape a terrible fire. Unfortunately, the crowd sent my horse into a panic, and I remember it losing its footing by the water's edge. The next thing I knew, I was waking up on a riverbank not far from here in the company of some stranger. I went looking for my horse and discovered that lonely temple. You can probably figure out the rest. I was elected 7 months ago, uncontested because of my command experience. Since then, there's been growing agitation for another election. They're supposed to be annual, but I agreed to hold it sooner, hoping it would placate my constituents. Unfortunately, it just seems to have emboldened certain elements instead. Very well. I've had plenty of time to think about it. Let me see if I can sum up my thoughts. I've always considered my guiding star to be the well-being of the Roman people. Our survival and prosperity have always hinged upon honoring the peace of the gods, the sacred accord between the gods and the people of Rome. Give the gods what they want and we all prosper. Dishonor them and we all die. It's as simple as that. The real enemy in this place is not the golden rule, but human failings. The temptation to slide into degeneracy, greed, and hubris. I trust that answers your question. Of course. What is it? Why then did you say, it looks like you'll have to continue? If I did, I'd have led these people out of here already. Thank you. I'll be waiting here for news.
No.
Keep an eye out for Santilla, would you?
How's it going?
Ugh, I wish Horatius would stop letting barbarians.
Oh, we don't have anything.
I try.
Alright, I don't have anything to say to you here. So...
Fear is proof of a degenerate mind.
I've been wandering around a little bit, while you were off stream, just checking out stuff.
Oh, don't mind me.
And I did find something.
Citizen.
Oi! How did you get in there, you cheeky little stirkers? If I can't believe...
There's a animated golden statue with bits of it peeled off. Just hanging out here. And it attacks you.
Me die.
So that's cool. Yes, it attacks you and hurts you, for sure. Okay, so... No, it definitely does hurt you, which is why I haven't gone back in there yet. Okay. Go back there when I get a weapon. I did manage to save the woman from dying in the collapsing thingo, though.
Wonder how much one of these statues is worth on the outside.
Shh, I'm hiding. Did you stop him?
Not yet.
Well, what are you waiting for?
Fucking, I'm trying to solve... Okay. Gonna have to get creative with the, bow and arrow. I bet the only way I get a bow and arrow is to take it from the assassin in one of the loops.
Stop right there. I'm looking for Tiberius Quinctius Crispus, otherwise known as Quinctius. Do you know where he is?
Yes, I saw him worshipping in a small round shrine just inside the city. Second building on your left.
Thank you. For your service to the Empire, I'll let you live for now. but you'd best make sure our paths don't cross again.
I honestly didn't think of that. Bye, dumb shit.
Filthy, lying degenerate.
Yeah, you do get his bow. Wooden bow. Yes! And some arrows, bit of money, and the bounty notice. All loyal sons of Rome are ordered to hunt and execute the arsonist and murderer Tiberius Quinctius Crispus, a citizen from the Aventine district of Rome. He's about 40 to 50. Yeah, okay, we know the description. He's typically clean-shaven, known as an associate of cultists and suffers from delusions of grandeur. Yeah, take it with me. I mean, I know who that is. That's Malleolus. We've already met him. And we just ask him about it now. Hell yeah!
Salve again, friend. I went and did as you asked, and it worked. How is it possible that you've just arrived here and you already know everyone and exactly what's about to happen to them?
I'm reliving the same day over and over again.
You're toying with me, right? Wait, you're not kidding, are you? That's the only way you could have known. You're a bit like... Oh, what was his name? Sisyphus. Yeah, that's the one. Old King Sisyphus.
Like Sisyphus? How so?
Sisyphus was a Greek king a long time ago.
I understand. I don't know why my character
daring to think he could outsmart the gods, he was given a terrible punishment. He was forced to push a great boulder up to the top of a hill. Only, just as it reached the top, it would roll all the way back down to the bottom, forcing him to start over and over and over again, for all eternity. Just like you. Actually, now that I think about it, there are a bunch of old stories about the gods punishing people by making them do the same futile task over and over. Tantalus was made to grasp a fruit on a tree he could never quite reach. The Pleiades had to keep fetching water in a sieve. Oh, and Ixion was strapped to a wheel going round and round forever. But, on the bright side, at least you're not stuck in the underworld like they all were. Anyway, I don't know which god you managed to upset to get yourself into this position, friend, but you seem all right to me. So, I'll tell you what. I'll keep doing whatever I can to help you. And you just focus on finding a way to break the cycle you're in.
Because this is the first time we've had this conversation. You're a good man, Galerius.
Oh, that's kind of you to say. Now, I'm going to keep your secret. Although, it's not as if I'll remember this next time we talk anyway, right? Oh, and if our conversations ever start to annoy you, just tell me you're busy. I know when I'm not wanted. May fortune smile on you, friend.
Also, this is the game sort of laying out that this is the way you don't need to redo all the things you have to do during each loop to keep certain people alive and get certain items and stuff, you know? No, you're not having my bow.
I'm sorry to trouble you, but I couldn't help but notice that fine bow you're carrying. No idea how you managed to get your hands on it, especially in the light of our dear old magistrate's ban, but I'm impressed. And before you ask, no, I wouldn't dream of trying to buy it from you. I have no use for a wooden bow myself. But I would like to propose a joint business venture of sorts.
Okay, that's suspicious because you definitely were trying to obtain a bow earlier. Go on.
Tell me, do you have any idea how people here end up as golden statues?
The Statues come to life and fire golden bows and fire golden bows arrows. That's not a great.
And here I was thinking I was the only one to figure it out. In any case,
how did you figure that out?
Supposedly, one or two of those arrows is enough to turn a full-grown man into gold. Now, of course, that is a travesty, a terrible, horrible waste of human life, which has to be stopped. And yet, on the other hand, I can't help but think of the tale told by that Greek fella Aesop, the goose that laid the golden egg. With the ability to transmute organic matter into gold, one could create infinite wealth. Use your imagination. Golden animals, insects, trees and plants. The Midas touch without the drawbacks. We are talking riches beyond imagining. And even if we were to split all those riches between the two of us, half of infinite wealth is still infinite. Interested?
I think the Golden Goose is meant to be a cautionary tale.
Look, I might have skimmed over that one, but don't be so pedantic. Are you interested or not?
Sure.
Excellent. So the first question is, how do we get our hands on one of those golden bows? Now, I have a plan, but first, tell me, are you familiar with the story of the goddess Diana?
No.
No problem. Allow me to explain. Diana is our goddess of the hunt, the moon, and the underworld, depending on who
I knew that.
The one thing priests and poets agree on is that she carried with her a golden bow and a quiver of golden arrows. And it just so happens that there is a shrine of Diana in this very forum, with a prominent statue of the goddess herself. And would you like to guess what she's holding in her hand?
A golden bow?
Precisely. I can't tell you how many hours I've spent in that temple staring at it, trying to figure out how to retrieve it without breaking you-know-what.
But you want me to steal it?
Oh, gods no! If you tried that, we'd all be dead within moments, I'm sure.
Well,
now, here's what I
in this loop...
You give your bow to me, I cover it in a thin layer of gold leaf, and we create a replica of a golden bow. Then, you enter the shrine, extinguish the braziers, and under cover of darkness, swap out the fake for the original. It's not theft exactly, it's more of a trade. But make no mistake, this is a dangerous path, and there's no way of knowing where it will lead. But in my experience, all the best adventures begin with a risky first step. Now, you must have questions. Ask away.
Why can't I just take it?
Because the gods would see you, of course. Hence, my proposal.
Because they can't see you if you turn out the lights. Why don't you do it yourself?
I'm more of an ideas man. Whereas you're obviously the more resourceful and heroic type. I have complete confidence in you.
Isn't that extremely dangerous?
When Prometheus stole fire from the gods and became a hero to all mankind, do you think he was worried about the danger?
Prometheus was also punished for eternity, if I recall correctly.
Only because he was silly enough to get caught.
Okay.
So, are you in, partner?
The tip here is, if you don't like action or horror elements, feel free to decline. Do we like action or horror elements, dear? Okay, I'll do it, but don't ever call me partner.
Wonderful. Now, if you'll hand over your bow, I can get started applying a layer of gold leaf. This is a quality weapon. Now, bear with me for a moment. And here we are, a gold leaf bow.
Ooh.
Now I've gone and unlocked the Shrine of Diana for you, so as quick as you can, head on inside. It's just at the end of the street on the left. May the gods not watch over you.
Oh, yeah, that was a face.
You took care of him?
He had a tragic accident in the shrine.
An accident? So, it's over? Oh, God. That's such a relief. I really thought we were all going to die. I do have a question, though. That shrine, the one I was going to hide in, did you know it was going to collapse?
If I said yes, I'd be admitting to murder.
I don't understand. Oh, I see. I should probably keep my big mouth shut then. Sorry. I promise, nobody else will ever know what you did. But I know. That was really clever. Thank you. I'm glad you're here. Oh, speaking of which, welcome. I'm Fabia. Sorry I was a bit frantic before. Need anything?
So, like, I am kind of interested. If I'd said yes, would the game have been like fucking gold time? Any idea who's threatening Virgil?
Terrible shame, that is. Maybe this'll help. Late last night, I was cleaning my oven when I heard some noises outside. The forum's usually dead quiet at that hour, so I came out to see what was going on. To be honest, I thought maybe poor old Dooley had got out of his cell and was snooping around again. So I put my head out and saw someone in front of Virgil's shop. I couldn't tell who, it was too dark. I called out to them, but they just turned and ran off without a word. All I remember is they ran past a lit torch, and the light glinted off something metallic. Armour, I think. So I suppose it could only be one of three people. Horatius, Domitius, or Rufius. I hope that helps.
Yeah, actually it do. What's your story?
There's not much to tell. I mostly just bake bread and try to help out where I can.
How'd you end up here?
I suppose it all started about 8 months ago. I was living in Rome with my family when I got sick. Terrible timing. My pa had just arranged a husband for me. A fisherman's son. I was about to meet him for the first time when I came down with an awful fever. I spent the next week in bed. Pa paid priests to make offerings to Asclepius, a white rooster, then a goat. But nothing worked. In the end, they decided I'd do better outside the city. Clean air in the countryside would do me good, they said. But after about a day in a carriage on the Appian Way, I was getting worse, not better. I remember closing my eyes for a bit, and I guess I must have fell asleep, because when I opened them again, I was in a forest by a river. I suppose the driver took off with his fee and left me for dead. Can't say I blame him. I wouldn't have wanted to catch what I had either. Anyway, I went searching for help. Stumbled across the trapdoor temple, and here I am.
That's odd. Most of the others were in Rome before they woke up in the forest, but you're saying you were a day's ride away?
Oh yeah. I suppose you're right. Hadn't really thought about it. But the gods are mysterious and powerful. Who knows what their plans are for us?
Do you know a way out?
What? You've been here a few moments and you're desperate to get out already? Why not give the place a chance before you try to leave?
Oh, yes.
Good people here. Galerius works hard on the farm so I can put food on our tables. And Lucretia tries to keep us healthy. My friend Georgius is always mending our clothes. And Virgil makes sure these old walls don't fall down around us. Well, he does his best. I'm just saying, there are worse places you could live out your days.
I don't belong here.
Well, I can tell from your funny accent you're not from around here, but that doesn't mean you don't belong, does it?
What do you think about the Golden Rule?
Oh, I try not to worry about it. I mean, if people are nice to each other, we won't have anything to worry about.
You just had the most object lesson on what... on what there is to worry about. Have you met people?
You're funny. I bet my friend Georgius will like you. And those interesting clothes of yours. And I'm sure he'd love to chatter about the Golden Rule with you too. He'll be just across the forum in his shop.
That was a good way to dodge the question.
Thanks again for taking care of our problem. I won't forget it.
A stone mill. It looks like flour and grain are poured in from above and ground between the stones as the handles are rotated. Alright.
Don't you just love springtime?
No. You know what? Let's go fuck up that that temple.
Ah, a fellow traveler from a faraway land.
There's bees up there. How am I supposed to get up there to do that? Okay, I guess not. Oh, there we go. Oh, it worked. I didn't think it would.
Is that you, partner? Do you have the bow?
Yes.
Wonderful. Just go ahead and slide under the door for me and I'll unlock it for you.
You locked me in here?
A little bit slow, aren't you? Yes, I locked you in. And until you give me my bow, you're gonna stay in there, like Tantalus in Tartarus.
How is this not against the golden rule? You said you'd split the riches between the two of us.
No, technically, I never said that. I said, if we were to split all those riches between the two of us, infinite wealth is still infinite. It's hardly my fault if you can't tell the difference between a hypothetical and a promise, now is it? Oh, I do love a good loophole.
How can I trust you after you double-crossed me like this?
You're just gonna have to take your chances, I'm afraid. The bow, now. And don't even think about giving me the fake one. I'll recognise my own handiwork.
There's no way I'm giving you this bow. I'll find another way out.
I would reconsider my position quickly if I were you. I'm not sure if you noticed, but you're stuck in there with a hornet's nest, and they can be rather aggressive toward intruders. You know, some say it takes 27 hornet stings to kill a man, but I always wondered how anyone could have known that. Let's find out if they were right, shall we?
So the bow works. Hello, Skelly. Thanks for the extra arrows. So it seems I'm not the first one to get down here for whatever reason. Oh, yeah, okay, I see. Navia's
beloved
journal.
Galatea, I write this so that one day, when we're finally together, you will understand what I've done and why I had to do it. The others will call me mad or a monster, but I don't care what they think. Everything I'm doing here, I'm doing for you. I'll start at the beginning. Soon after my arrival here, as I walked down a corridor lined with golden statues, I thought I heard a whisper behind me. A rasp of air, as if vocal cords of metal strained to say a word or two. I tried to dismiss the idea, tried to concentrate on my work as the city's medic, but that tortured whisper haunted me. Weeks later, in the hallway to the bathhouse, I heard it again and found myself drawn to the statue of a Roman woman wearing a stola. Her face was contorted with anguish and fear, and, disturbingly, it was as if she was looking right at me. As I walked past her, I heard that strained whisper again, and turning back, I discovered that, even though I had moved, she was still looking right into my soul. That was when it dawned on me. This was no statue. This was a woman trapped within that golden prison. Naturally, I told the others, but when I could not reproduce the results of my experiment, they would not believe me. But from that moment on, I knew the full horror of this place. Immobilized within these statues are living human beings. It was that day, my love, that my heart broke.
I think I'm in the temple from the old Greek temple from behind. That'll be something. Oh yeah, find a way into the palace. I did it. Accidentally, but there we go. Why is it barred both ways? Hello. Oh. So they want to be turned back to gold, I guess. What the fuck happened in here?
You're not supposed to be here.
What the fuck are these things? No, I get it. What I wouldn't give for a zoom button, but okay. Don't know that this engine's really fit for corridor shooting. The fact that the game calls them peeled statues is pretty nasty, actually. Oh, okay. So Navia's been on some shit. Is I think the... Looks like there's a custom-made rack that has been used to hold down golden statues and peel the golden layer from them. Gruesome.
My beloved Galatea, after I learned the terrible truth about the golden statues, I wandered the city as if in a nightmare. What must life be like for these poor souls, entombed in gold, but kept alive somehow? Trapped in their own personal Tartarus, consigned to eternal torment, too horrific for any sane mind to comprehend. I tried to offer them what small mercies I could. I began to talk to them, to keep them company. I'd imagine backstories for them, give them names, and tell them of the world, of the histories and stories I'd learned as a child. As the others became more concerned by my charity, I sought solitude from them, preferring the company of my tormented charges. Discovering a way into the abandoned palace, I began to spend my days walking its halls and sharing with its occupants ancient tales, my mind turning to those of Apollo and Daphne, Perseus and Medusa, and Pygmalion and Galatea. Pygmalion, the sculptor who fell in love with a beautiful statue, and who, praying to Aphrodite for aid, discovered that his beloved Galatea had come to life. It was then that I heard you whisper to me, Galatea. Forgive me. I know that is not your real name, just one I have borrowed from a story. But when I turned to look at you, I saw the most exquisitely beautiful woman I have ever known. Your face, forever frozen in a look of haunting sadness. Our meeting gave me new purpose, to free you from your golden prison, so that I might one day hear you speak, not just whisper your true name to me. So I gathered tools for the long and difficult task ahead, barred the doors to this place, and set to work.
Yowza! And this doesn't count as a violation of the Golden Rule. Okay. Huh. So someone was using these before me.
Help us. Please.
I just want to die.
Thank you.
If you just stop moving. Roman woman with her arms raised is suddenly terrified by something unknown. I can't imagine what that would be. Yeah, it's a lot of, it's the fermented fish sauce again.
My beloved Galatea, my attempts at freeing these souls from their golden prisons have not been going to plan. My first charge was a Greek woman who I called Iodame after the Athenian turned to stone by Medusa. Drilling through the gold that encased her, I was vindicated by the discovery that beneath half an inch of gold, which is so rigid it must be some kind of alloy, was living flesh. Unfortunately, this golden alloy seems to have fused with her skin, so removing it exposed the sinew and muscle beneath and appeared to cause her great pain. At first, I braced myself, expecting that inflicting such pain would break the golden rule, and yet, somehow, it did not. It seems whichever god is responsible for imprisoning these poor souls does not care about their suffering at all. They are forsaken. Undeterred, I pressed on, working late into the night, attempting to remove the golden layer that encased her as delicately as I could. Eventually, I was able to free most of her body, but when I released her from her restraints, her first act was to lunge for my throat, clawing at me with all her strength and those sharp metal talons. This was my thanks for trying to save her. Whatever possessed Iodame to attack, she was clearly not a suitable subject for my experiment, and I was forced to lock her inside an isolated wing of the palace and bar the door. As I continued working on others, I could hear her flailing and launching herself at the other side endlessly. Regrettably, my other experiments bore similar results, and after relocating a few times, most of the palace is now too dangerous to work in. Still, as much as my heart aches to know that you're suffering, I cannot risk attempting to ungild you yet. Not until I have perfected a method that will bring you back to me, whole in both mind and body, and ensuring your humanity is preserved. I promise you this. One day we will be together, even if I have to free every last statue in this god's forsaken place. My beloved Galatea, my attempts
I wanted to get the coins, that's all. So she's been going down to the bones. Appears to be dead. Eventually evidently its death didn't break the golden rule. Oh boy. You can talk? I don't understand what you're saying. Oh, good. You must be Navia.
And you must be the wretched snake who broke into my palace and disturbed my experiments. And, worst of all, look at what you made me do to her. This never would have happened if you just stayed away. You're going to pay for that.
If you attack me, we'll both end up encased in gold.
And do you think I care about that? I don't care what happens to me, as long as you get what you deserve.
This has nothing to do with me.
Liar! I locked and barred the gate. I left a message warning you all to leave me alone. I just wanted to do my experiments in peace, for her. And now look at her. You made me turn the most beautiful woman I've ever seen into this. Look at her. She's in agony. All I wanted was to spend my last moments with her, to see her beautiful face, to hear her speak freely, instead of in those cryptic whispers. But as soon as I began my work, she stopped whispering to me. And now I discover she started whispering to you instead. What's so special about you?
It's not just this statue whispering to me, a lot of them do it, but it's always the same voice.
What do you mean, the same voice?
It's like someone else is whispering to me through the statues.
Yes. I remember when they used to whisper to me. They did sound similar. I just thought it was because all voices sound the same when they whisper. But now that I think about it, they were all benevolent and seemed to share a common knowledge. But if these bodies are mere conduits for that one voice, then this body is nobody. And everything I've done here was... Wait, I see what you're doing. You're trying to steal her away from me. Were you planning to wait until I'd done all the hard work, then swoop in? Is that it?
No, I swear.
Liar! You tried to steal her away from me, and now look what you made me do. Give me one good reason why I shouldn't peel you, too.
I ended up here by accident. All I want to do is leave.
What? What are you talking about?
I got trapped in tunnels under the city and came up inside the palace.
So you're saying you weren't coming for us?
Never had any intention of hurting you.
So I did all this. I ruined her. For nothing. What have I done? Oh God, I feel sick. I can't bear the thought of her being like this. And in so much pain. It's the air coming into contact with her flesh. It's agonizing for them. But the only way to fix it would be to break the golden rule. And
we're gonna have to fight no matter what, huh?
At least that way she'd be golden again, and we'd be together. All it would take is one little cut.
Wait, I can undo all this if you tell me a treatment for rheumatism.
It's too late.
Ah.
There's nothing you can do.
I hoped you had a side quest for me.
I'm sorry.
I could cover her in gold again.
What? How?
The golden bow is the weapon that encases people in gold.
Really? I'm not sure I believe you. But if you can undo this mess, I'll tell you what you need to know. But if you're lying to me, I'll break the golden rule and kill you and everyone else in this city. Understood?
Alright, stand back.
You did it. You took away her pain. I don't know what to say. Thank you. Thank you. I swear I will never harm her again. I swear it. I'll stay here to keep her company. But these poor souls, what can be done for them? I've tried everything I can. I fear the only one capable of releasing them properly is whichever god doomed them in the first place. In any case, I must honor our bargain. The treatment for rheumatism is willow bark. I believe there's a pot of it already in the Shrine of Apollo. Now, please leave. The door here leads out onto the palace balcony. You should be able to make your way down from there.
Bye.
Go, and never return.
Super lax about all this, apparently. Okay, I do get to keep... There's really no point in, like, golding her either. Anytime you want to finish loading, game. Thank you.
A golden bow. Just feeling alright?
Figured out how to treat the rheumatism.
You made it into the palace. I'm impressed. How is Nevia?
She's alive, but she just wants to be left alone, and the treatment is willow bark.
Willow bark. I should have known. It was under my nose the whole time. That's very helpful. Thank you. If this works, it should settle Rufius down some. I have some right here. Could you do me a favor and give him some of this? He'll just need to swallow a pinch of it. I'm hoping it will avert disaster.
Oh. Alright.
Thank you. I'm really glad you arrived when you did. That's a shame. Thanks again for saving Yulia's life. Apollo smiles upon you.
I also do want to find Decius again for vengeance purposes.
Hello? Hello? Have we met before?
Okay, so you can see through the loops a little bit.
Bye-bye.
There's a chest with 1,000 gold coins up here. Okay, fine. Doing all the way down here.
Oh! Wonder how much one of these statues is worth on the outside.
All weapons
Fortune
are to be
smile
tossed
on
into
you,
the
brother.
chasm. Magistrate's orders.
Name's Rufius. Better watch your step.
We're pretty rich. That's your rheumatism.
What business is that of yours?
If you get out of treatment, eat a pinch of this willow bark and you should feel better in no time.
Willow bark? And this will work? Oh, thank God. Finally, some relief. This is what I've been praying for. Maybe God hasn't abandoned me after all. Thank you. I've been in a lot of pain lately. The rheumatism, these cursed statues always watching, and the crisis of faith. It was too much. Started messing with my head. This is exactly what I needed to set it straight again. I owe you one.
You the one threatening Virgil?
No idea what you're talking about.
I know it was you.
Yeah? Prove it.
Yeah, okay, so it was definitely him then. Who are you gonna vote for?
Meliodas. Not sure I trust Sentius. Couldn't even protect his daughter in a city without sin. How's he going to protect us?
Anything I can do to change that?
No.
Aw. You said you owed me one, remember?
Who do you want me to vote for?
Let's talk about something else. I won't waste my trip on that just yet.
Salve again, my Sisyphean
Especially
friend.
since he's right the fuck
Now,
there.
What's on your mind?
Ever thought about running for magistrate yourself?
I've bounced the idea around once or twice, mainly as a way of getting Dooley set free. God knows Sentius is never going to do it. But from what I hear, Malleolus has the election stitched up. Nobody's going to take him on and win. And maybe that's not such a bad thing. I mean, he talks a lot about freedom, so I'm hoping if he's elected, he'll release Dooley from his cell. That's good enough for me.
I don't think Malleolus is going to help Dooley.
And how could you know that? I mean, I don't like the man, but I don't see how you could know a thing like that.
He told me he doesn't believe in the Golden Rule. He's a dangerous fool.
Well, in that case, we need to find a way to make sure Malleolus loses. Better yet, get him to withdraw altogether. If you can do that, and Sentius is the only candidate left, I'll run against him. Deal?
Alright. I can do that.
Alright, friend. Hope you find a way to break that cycle you're in.
All I have to do is pop a reset and then... Oh, there you are!
Oh, hello there, partner. I'm glad you're here. I think there might have been some confusion about my little practical joke earlier. You see, my plan was to give you a little fright. You know, like two friends joking around at the Saturnalia, and then, surprise, I'd open the door. But when I opened it, you were gone.
You're going to pay for what you did.
Partner, there's no need for threats.
It's not a threat. It is a promise.
Yeah? Well, I don't have to listen to this. Get lost.
I wonder if this counts. It doesn't! Oh, it does!
The many shall suffer for the sins of the one.
Okay, you don't gold then. Alright, bye. This one's on me, sorry. Bye. That one was on me. Unauthorized begolding, I guess.
Salve, friend. Mind telling me who you are and what you're doing with that bow on your back?
I need you to take care of some things.
Oh, sounds serious. I'm listening.
Yulia's dying, but Lucretia can't help her without the Sylphium. Take some of it and go.
Yulia? Oh no. Alright, I can do that.
Rufus is becoming agitated because of his rheumatism, but if you give him some of this willow bark, it'll calm him down.
Poor guy. My uncle was a victim at rheumatism's altar, and he ended up killing himself. Alright, got it.
I need you to stop Fabia entering the empty shrine and tell her the new arrival. He'll find what he's looking for in there.
Alright, let me see. Stop Fabia going in, but send the new arrival to the empty shrine. Understood.
That's just such a... Go!
I'll go, but once I'm done, I'll need you to tell me how you know all of this.
Magic. He's just the chore boy, I guess. Hey, look at him go.
You, Sisyphus, attack or pursue the just as the ocean accepts the rivers of all the world. So this place accepts all the souls, but it does not notice the crowds that come.
Can you tell me about the pattern you saw?
You think you wish to know, but you do not. It is better for you if you remain ignorant. Pandora's box must stay closed. I'll say no more.
Well, that's helpful, thank you.
The newly arrived are ignorant of the road before them.
Anyway, I better stop for lunch. I'm getting hungry. It's such a nice little considerate gesture.